Hey guys, and welcome back to another story time. So this story time is probably going to be way more eventful because
I have to sneeze, people. Don't judge me. That's why I'm not talking right now.
okay,
I guess just got stabbed.
Okay, well, it's more going to be from my perspective because it actually did happen from my perspective.
But part of it is from mine because we both experienced this other part.
Okay, so where do we start? Okay.
Oh, start how we got there.
Okay, so at the time, actually you can tell us part.
At the time, I was very afraid of a doll named Chucky. Yeah, he's terrifying.
Okay, he's terrifying to her, but I used to be afraid of it. It's a long story that I'm not going to get into right now, but let's just say.
And I used to go in my parents' bed all the time.
Okay, my bedroom is she used to sleep in my bedroom with me. My bedroom is it's the bedroom at the back of the house, so it's farthest from the front door, okay? And I don't know, that's always been sort of creepy, but we're not going to get into that either. So this one particular night, she had went in our parents' bed. My parents' bed is near the living room, so let me try to explain this to you. So if you walk out of my bedroom, there's a long hallway, and if you walk down the long hallway and turn to the right, there's a kitchen. You walk down the kitchen, and it leads to the living room. And then to the right of that is my parents' bedroom. So that's how...
Very confusing.
Yes. So we have a sectional couch. So there's a shay. Yes, it's an L-shaped couch. So part of it was there's this... Okay. I'm probably not explaining this very well, but...
So basically, we just have a living room.
No, I'm trying to explain how... Okay, so, hold on. Let me gain my composure.
Your composure.
Okay, we are back. I'm going to edit in a picture of what it looks like, but just so you know, there's a little wall that separates the kitchen from the living room. So the shade part, the L part of the sofa is up against that wall. And so if you lay on it, my parents' bedroom's door is right in front of that, so you can see straight into the bedroom. Let's start the actual story.
Yeah.
So she had gone in my parents' bedroom, and I usually don't like sleeping alone. I don't know, I've never liked it. I mean, it's one thing if her bedroom is right next to mine. So it's one thing if we're in separate rooms and we're in the same vicinity. It's another thing if I'm just completely alone on
the back of the house,
yes.
Basically. Because our parents' bedroom's in the front.
Yeah. Usually I'm not afraid of stuff. Let me just put this out there. And so, one particular night I had went on the sofa because, I don't know, I just had gone on the sofa. And so then, I made it through the night perfectly fine. I wasn't really scared of going on the sofa or anything like that. I just couldn't sleep when I was alone. So, I wake up in the morning. This is when it starts to get weird. So I woke up in the morning. I remember distinctly looking at the clock. And I do not know why I did this, or it was just weird. In the clock, I remember it said 6:06 a.m. Okay? Now,
let's just mind the number 666. It's 16 missing, by the way. I'm a conspiracist.
Now, the thing is, I never wake up at this time in the morning.
She is a deep sleeper.
I never wake up at this time. We're homeschooled, so I usually wake up at 8:30 because I can get my school done by 12 o'clock if I do that. Now, I never wake up at that time. Let me just put that out there.
Never.
And
I'm always up at that time.
I never wake up, okay? I'm a very deep sleeper. Everybody in the house was asleep. Let me just put this out there. And there were no noises. Sure, there's a train that is right by our house, okay? But it was not going past at that time. I can tell you that right now. So I looked at the clock, 6:06, okay? So if I'm laying on the couch, okay, I'm laying on the shay part of the couch, the L part, the tail of the L, and then I turn to my right, and there's another part of the sofa that's up against another wall. And I turn to my right, and I see this figure on the couch. It almost looks like someone is sitting there with their back facing me with a blanket around them, okay? Now, at first, it is broad daylight at this time in the morning, okay? It is broad daylight. I can see perfectly fine. I literally think that I think that it's my sister. I think that it's Gabby, because I'm like, I literally thought it was someone sitting there with a blanket wrapped around them. So I'm like, well, okay. So I said Gabby. I was like, because I thought it was her, genuinely. So I said Gabby, and she didn't respond. And all of a sudden, there was just this feeling of fear that when she didn't respond. And I was like, I just laid back down and went to sleep.
Let's just mind, I do not sleepwalk. Never in my life have I. And I was asleep at this time because I woke up at 8 a.m.
I just got this feeling of fear, and it was weird. I don't know how to explain it, okay? So, yes, I'm going to try to explain it, but I'm going to cut this part of the video so I can gather my thoughts. Okay, I know I'm cutting the video a lot, but it's just because I'm trying to, like, gather my thoughts. I don't want it to seem like it's fake. It's not, trust me. So, then I woke up in the morning, and I had asked Gabby, I was like, did you go on the couch at like 6 a.m.? And she's like, no. So I asked my mom and I asked my dad, and I was like, did you go on the sofa at 6 o'clock and sit there? They were like, no. And so I was thinking to myself, like, what the heck? So I was keeping to myself for a little while, and I eventually told Gabby first, because I just tell her everything first. So
yes, because I am the best.
She was like, we were both weirded out about the situation. Now, I went to tell my mom first, and she was like, it was probably just the dog. Now, we do have a dog, and she is black. She is completely black. She's super furry, so I can understand why she would think that it looked like a blanket was around someone. But I can tell you right now, it was not the dog.
By the way, we had a different dog at this time. She passed away.
Yes, but
That makes it sound like died.
Essentially, I kind of knew that it was not. It was not the dog. It was broad daylight outside. I could see, and I had said Gabby's name out loud. The dog would have turned around because she's just attentive like that.
Yeah, and plus you'd be able to see gray furs all over her because she was a very gray dog.
And it wasn't really. It's hard to explain. So I told my mom about this and told my dad, and they didn't believe me. And my dad especially did not believe me.
Because he thinks that she was just trying to scare me.
Yes,
at the time I was scared.
He thought that I was trying to scare her. And I was like, I'm not lying.
I believe her because...
Why would I lie?
Exactly. She would not lie about that just to scare me. She would have done something more rash.
Yes. And, okay, it gets weirder. So, I'm going to cut the video here to move on to the second night. So. Okay, guys. Second night comes, and I am very scared, to say the least. And I am never scared. I usually deal very well with...
I was terrified because of this, so I was in Mama's...
She went into our parents' bedroom again.
I don't know why I say Mama.
And I woke up at around like 1-ish, I remember. And you know the whole thing about the witching hours. So I was like, no, I'm not staying in this bed long enough to make it to that time, because I knew that I was not going to be able to go back to sleep. So I went onto the couch like that the night before. I grabbed my blanket, grabbed my pillows, went out there. And so I went on the couch, and I remember lying there, and I was... Okay, so I was sleeping on the L part of the sofa again because I wanted to see into my parents' bedroom. And so I was facing towards the cushion of the sofa. So I was lying on my left side, okay? And I was put my blanket over my head and was just like freaking out. I was not... It was just so... It's so hard to explain how I felt in that moment. It was crazy. So I was like... We live in Texas, okay, so it is super hot outside, and I remember I was sweating. I was so hot, so I wanted to take the blanket off of me, but I was so scared, and I was afraid to turn around just in case I would see something again. So I was like, okay, well, what am I going to do? I'm going to die of a heat stroke. I would not have died of a heat stroke, but I was, like, sweating, so I was like, okay. So I finally gathered up the courage to turn around, and there was nothing there. So I fell back asleep, I remember. And I woke up at, lo and behold, 3:06 a.m.
Oh, wow. What's up with the sixes? Son?
Exactly. I was like, okay, this is odd. Once again, the house is silent. There is no noise at all. The train's not going past. Everybody's asleep. And I just wake up out of the middle of nowhere, okay? And I turn back onto my side because I'm like, oh, this is not happening. So I turn back facing the cushion. And all of a sudden, I get this feeling as if something touched my shoulder. And it's like electricity is like coursing through my body. It was the weirdest feeling on the planet. It was like a feeling of fear. It was like someone was actually touching me, and I just started crying. And I don't
She
cry.
doesn't cry that easily unless, like, she got really badly hurt.
It was the weirdest feeling on the planet. I can't even explain it. It didn't hurt, but it didn't it was disturbing. And so I was just crying.
Here, let's break up the tension just a little bit because
Okay.
with a funny thing.
Okay.
So, on still, she doesn't cry very easily. This is just because I want to. So, the other day, she cut her finger on a piece of chicken.
Yes, I cut my finger.
And she did not cry, by the way.
I didn't cry, but still. I was washing the dishes, and there's this hard piece of chicken, and I cut my finger on it. But, like, okay. So back to the story. I just had this sense of dread, and it was so awful. So I was literally about to run into my parents' room and be like, there's something in this house. No joke. It was 3 a.m., and I was going to wake them up. I never wake them up. Like, I was about to run in there. I'm not kidding you. It was just so odd. So I woke up the next day. I made it through the night.
No, and before this, we had done the Charlie challenge.
Yes, we had, but it was
in
months.
our living room.
Exactly. And so I went out there. I woke up in the morning, told my parents about it. They didn't believe me, like usual. And so the third night, I had gone on the sofa again because she had gone in my parents' bedroom. Thanks a lot, Gav. This night was especially weird because I can maybe understand if something was specifically targeting me, because I don't know, I just can understand if something like that could happen. And so nothing particularly crazy happened this night except for the fact that I was lying, and so there is a closet door right next to basically in front of
the kitchen and the living room. It basically divides it, but it's just there. It's not closed. Well, it's always closed, but it's like just on the wall. So if you're in the kitchen, you're gonna get hit with the door.
No, if you walk into the kitchen, into the living room, on the wall, there is a closet. So yeah. I can see it from there. And so I think it was like 3:08 when I woke up.
Oh my god, what's up with your timing skills?
So nothing particularly scary happened, but until
when I'm terrified and I wake up, I always keep my eyes closed.
Yes, I was like, I had my eyes open, and I decided to sleep on my back, so that way if I could just see everything, and I didn't have to like turn over or anything like that. I just slept on my back. And so I was, of course, very paranoid about the fact of when I felt that feeling like someone's touching my shoulder. I know that maybe I could get very paranoid and I could imagine that, but I was already paranoid.
Yeah, she told me this, and I always believe her because she has no reason to lie.
Yes, I don't know. Okay, I'm just gonna get back to the story. So, anyways, I hear this noise.
It's like a tapping.
Like, yeah.
It's like, and I swear to God, I was in my parents' bedroom. I woke up at the exact same time Bella said she did, and it sounded like it was right by me.
But it's weird because I heard it coming from the kitchen. It sounded like someone was tapping on the kitchen table.
And getting closer every time. And I swear, when my parents moved, it stopped. And then when I moved, because I wanted to see if it would stop, nothing. It just kept getting closer and closer and closer.
So the thing is, we do have a dog, and I could see her lying by my parents' bed.
I could too, because she's like this big black dog.
It was so weird, and I was like, okay, what the heck?
And my mom said, oh, the ceiling's just creaking. It's the house settling.
It sounded like someone was tapping on.
It sounded like deliberately tapping.
It was like a steady rhythm.
Over and over and over.
It was like a steady rhythm, to put it like that.
It was like a pattern.
And so, I was like watching my feet. So my feet are at the end of the sofa, and there's a white door, the closet door, right? So you can see a shadow. I saw like some sort of shadow, almost like it was crawling across the floor.
Oh God, don't talk about that.
To think about that is so disturbing. You don't even know.
Oh, that's like the Rings movie.
That is the weirdest thing I have ever freaking seen in my entire life.
Oh, that could have been the tapping sound.
That's what I'm saying. But it's not like I could see anything. It was more like a shadow. Like I could see it.
Thank God I was in my parents' bed.
Off the door. So I was like,
I'm so glad I'm not her.
I was just like,
if that would have been me, you would have heard me scream or just cry.
But the weird thing is that we both heard it.
Exactly. That night, it was like perfectly in order. 3 nights, right?
3 nights.
And you woke up 2 times at 3 a.m.
And then it stopped.
Yeah.
Nothing happened afterwards. I slept in my bed perfectly fine. Nothing ever happened in my bedroom, which was sort of the weirdest thing, because me and her, okay, like we said, we've done the Charlie challenge before. We've stopped doing it, okay? We did it in her bedroom. There is always this weird vibe about her bedroom.
I know. I hate going in there in the morning because our guinea pigs are in there. It's kind of their room now. But, like,
it's just this weird feeling whenever you walk in, and I don't know how to explain it. Maybe it has something to do with the fact, but nothing ever creepy has happened in my bedroom.
Yeah.
Ever.
Like, sometimes I feel like something's just watching me in my room. Sometimes I feel like it's that big giraffe stuffed animal in there, but it may be because it's got, like, those eyes where it looks like it's following you.
Yeah, it was all around weird. There's nothing that I can explain. Like, there's no way that I can explain it, but it all stopped. And if something weird does happen, I will tell you about it. Hopefully nothing does happen. I think it's been around 6 months.
Save us! Please!
But you guys do not understand how disturbing it is to see a shadow, like, almost, like, crawling across the floor.
I don't want to talk about that, okay?
No, almost trying to sneak past you in a sense.
Yeah, and, like, did it ever stop, like, moving? Because our parents moved and the tapping stopped.
No, it almost looked like as though, so if it's crawling past the edge of the sofa,
oh, God, don't.
It has to, like, crawl past it, right? Once it got past the white door, I never saw anything, which is weird because the shadow was reflected off of the white. Our walls are white, but once you get past that door, it opens up to my parents' bedroom, so you would not see a shadow.
Ooh.
But we have these little tree light things, so that's where the light would have been reflected from.
Yeah, but, like, they're on a timer, too.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that is the story. I'm not sure what I'm going to call this. I might call it dog or demon. I'm not sure.
Oh, wow. Dog or demon.
But yes, this is probably the weirdest experience I've ever experienced, honestly.
But I have also something else to say. So that night, when the tapping was going on, my mom literally, like, turned to the same side that I felt the tapping was coming from, because I was laying towards, if she is pointed to the right and I'm pointed to the left, that's what it was like. And you could see, like, their bedroom doors right there, like, by their bed at that other end. And I literally was so scared because I saw that door creak open. And I'm not lying. I just didn't want to tell you. I was too scared.
Wait, what the freak? Okay, but the point of the matter is, it's so weird how we both heard the tapping sound, but it was like it was coming from different places.
What time did you wake up?
Like 3:08. which is weird because the night before I woke up at 3:06.
I woke up at like 3 something.
And the weird thing is, I distinctly remember all the times. I do not know why I looked at the clocks or anything like that. I just did. So I'm going to end this video before it gets too long, but if you like this and you want to hear more stories, I can tell you about the time I got stuck on a Disney World ride.
And then we could tell you about the time I split my head open.
I'm choking.
She's choking! Call the cops! Actually,
no,
wait,
don't
call the cops. Don't call the cops.
Okay, but still, thanks for watching this video, and don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll be back.
Wait, I want to say something. Pace!
Positive attitude
changes everything.
sometimes.
Hopefully.
Bye.
Bye.